bitch. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we get a decent card. We get way too many NBA games, which I haven't even looked at, and I
way
don't
too
really
many hockey games.
Huh?
Way too many hockey games.
We have 10 games in the NHL. We have a lot of daytime action too. Is one thing I noticed.
Yes. Well, it's Martin Luther King Day, so
yeah, it's the federal holiday, so a lot of afternoon action because we have a 12 o'clock hockey game, 4 1 o'clock games, a 3 o'clock game, a couple 6 o'clock games, a 7 o'clock game, and an 8 o'clock game. So we got plenty of daytime action, which will be fun, including noon college basketball action as well, which I've moved on a few of those too.
Wow.
Then we get some NFL playoffs, which is fun.
Yep.
So should be a fun slate today. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. 1 right, 1 wrong in the world of sports betting. The struggle continues. The NBA sucks. NHL did not go as the way I thought. But let's get into it. College basketball 0-1. Illinois -8 loses outright for me. So that's always a fun way to start the day. NBA went 0-3. I should have just taken the points with the Pacers instead of the team total over because they would have covered the 10.5, but they did not get the over 115, and the over didn't come close. It came 14 points short, and then Phoenix Portland soared way over the total. So I need to go back and look, but I don't think I've had a winning NBA day in 2024. I don't know. I have to go back and look. NBA has been terrible, and that's why I've got very little motivation to look at it today. So NHL went 1-2, down half a unit. I got the Red Wings team total over 2.5. They got 4. So that projection was right. Unfortunately, I did not have James Reimer holding the Leafs to 2. So the over 7 does not come through. The over 9.5 alternative does not come through. That would have been a nice little score there. And then the NFL, Cowboys -7 was never the play, but the team total over 29.5 never in doubt. The full game over 50.5 was a winner. And the most frustrating game of the day, it was 21-17 at halftime. I needed a touchdown from the Lions in the second half and them to hold the lead to have an okay day. They scored 3 points in the second half and failed to cover because the Rams kicked a field goal to make it a 1-point game, and they couldn't score after that. So Detroit -3 loses. Detroit team total over loses. Public wins with the Rams +3, but they lose on the money line. So frustrating there. But it is what it is. Just another poor day, and hopefully today's better.
Yeah, you call the Rams public. I called it. I call that sharp money right there. But we'll see how it goes. Site yesterday sucked. Complete disaster yesterday. We got the over in the Dallas game. That was it. I pushed on Man United, UConn and Illinois both losers. Over in the Nuggets game and LA -2 losers. The over in the Lions game loser and the over in the Toronto game loser. 1-6-1 down 6.54 units was not pretty. I'm ready to move on.
Yep.
Good morning, all ears. What are we doing? What we're doing is we're going to do a Buffalo parlay. We're going to grab the Sabres money line, or we're going to grab the Sabres puck line with the Bills -10. So Buffalo. The NFL playoffs have been so profitable. KC, Miami under, Green Bay team total over, and the Rams, Lions under. Wow, Mel has faded us and has made good money this postseason.
Yeah.
because we've been on the opposite sides of we had the over in the KC game, although Green Bay was nice. Go Packers. And then the under, we were on the over. Yesterday in the NFL was for the underdogs. Today's for the favorites. For one of the favorites.
Yes, it is, because I have both underdogs, and I can't get anything right in the playoffs.
All right, Nick. Should we talk about some hockey?
Yeah, this is kind of funny. The Sabres are minus 265 favorites with a total of 6.5 in this game. Let me get up. Where's the line history here? There it is. All right, here's the right tab for it. Let's switch over to the NHL. I'm all prepared. There we go.
Good job, Nick. Good job.
Yep. Nope, and I clicked the wrong game. I clicked the Boston game, which I do have a move in that game. I do not have a move in this game. Line opened up at a 244. It's up to a 265. So people looking at Buffalo Sabres at minus 240 and think that's not high enough.
Okay. Hold on. Can we look at it a different way?
It's the Sharks.
It's the Sharks. Okay.
I know you love taking your shot with Sharks money line, so I'm curious to see how you do. I don't think I've seen you bet against the Sharks this year. Total up.
I bet against the Sharks this year, and I've cashed against them too.
Fair. No line movement on the total. Open up at 6.5 minus 110. Still 6.5 minus 110. 68% of the tickets, 97% of the cash on the Sabres money line. 85% of the tickets, 99% of the cash is on the puck line. 33% of the tickets, 65% of the cash on the under in this game as well. Let's get up my projection for this game. I had Levi projected, not Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Is there something wrong with Levi that he's not playing anymore?
I don't know, but I just saw on Twitter they confirmed Luukkonen to be the starter today. So I would have to adjust my projections for this game for Ukko, Ukko has been not particularly great.
Sabres in general are not great, so that doesn't really say much.
Yeah. Am I laying minus 265 with the Sabres? No. If anything, I'm taking a shot with the plus 200 with the Sharks. Just because I don't think the Sabres should be this big of favorites. Am I going to be betting it? No. I think there's better games out there than trying to find a way to lay minus 260 something with the Sabres. So no play in this game for me. As for the total, I actually do lean towards the under. I have this game projected around 6. So it'd be leaning towards the under for me here in this game, but no play.
You know I'll have some type of bet on Buffalo. Because it's an early game and I'm a degenerate. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to do the Buffalo parlay like I mentioned. I'm trying to figure out.
I can get 14-1 Steelers Sharks parlay.
That's not what I was going at. Because I feel like that's the best way for me to approach it because I do like the Bills today. Is going a Buffalo parlay. I'm just trying to figure out whether to do Bills money line. I'm trying to figure out what combination: Bills money line / minus 10 and Buffalo Sabres money line or puck line. So I'm still trying to figure out that portion of it. But I want to do something involving a Buffalo parlay today. So we'll figure that one out. But that's the only way that I could really approach this game, Nick.
Yeah, you're I'm trying to see what it would pay. Because
I know that Buffalo Bills minus 10, Sabres money line was plus 165. I don't know about minus 10 puck line yet. I haven't looked at it. Probably close to 400 range, 300, 400 range, but something in that.
Yeah, and if you're looking at Bills money line, Sabres money lines minus 159.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing money line. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I want to do Bills money line, Bills money line, or Sabres money line, or both of them to just do puck line and spread. So, or Buffalo Bills team total over could be an interesting way to approach it too. So there you go. I wasn't fading you; those were my plays. I know. We're joking. Yesterday football sucked. No one I picked won, but I guess for the city of Detroit, my hometown, where congrats, deep people in the crowd who was crying. Everyone was celebrating like they won the Super Bowl. I mean,
well, yeah, they won the Super Bowl yesterday, right? The Lions,
pretty much. I'm ready for it. Ready? NFC Championship game, Detroit, Green Bay. Ready for it? You ready for it?
No, give me.
Here we go. Here we go.
Give me San Fran -10.
No, I really like Green Bay. Mel hates me. Mel just doesn't like me today. Because I go out, I grab my Buffalo Sabres jersey, and then Mel goes, Sharks puck line. Now to your regular tuned message. What's up, my guys? Let's get those casts today. Hit the like button, people. Social appreciation, subscribe, and share. And Timmy, you know the rest of the same, my dog. NBA. Let's effing go. Where's the value? Let's get it. Sharks puck line absolutely hits more than 1 out of 6 times against this team. Give me the plus 500. I will say, if you're doing it, go with it.
Go for the score. I like
go
that
for the score. That's fine. Sam, rapid fire through hockey so we can get to the NBA. The dessert, which is the NBA. I can only go as fast as Nick does. So, Bills money line and Sabres money line. Bills spread as easy as it gets. Don't say that it's easy. Do not say that it's easy. Real deal. I do not want to hear that. You're a Buffalo fan. You should not be saying it's easy. Nothing is easy with the Sabres. Today will be a struggle. I love you, Tim. Aw. Appreciate that, Mel. I love you too. There you go. All right, let's jump into the next game.
Yeah, a game I actually made a play on. So let's get into it here. Boston Bruins and the New Jersey Devils. This may be my early game I'm paying attention to because all these other games at 1 o'clock are kind of not great. Because when you look at the other games at 1 o'clock, you get -400 Panthers, you get -210 on the road Canucks, and you get the Penguins laying $1.45 against the Kraken, who have won 9 games in a row. So the only one I'm kind of looking at is Pittsburgh there, but we'll get into that there. But I do have a play on this one here. We have the Bruins -170 favorites, total of 6 in this spot here. We have this line opened up at a -185, and it's down to a 167. Do not like that line movement there towards the Devils. Big line movement towards the Devils. Line opened up at a 6 -120, and now it's a 6 and -106. So we have a move towards the under, and we have a move towards the Bruins in this one here. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here, where we have 69% of tickets are on the Bruins puck line, 64% of tickets, 64% of cash on the money line, only 3,600 tickets. So do that as you please. 66% of tickets, 81% cash on the over in this spot here. And I think I did lean over in this one because I actually have this game projected at a 6, and it is at a 6. I have the Bruins projected as -210 favorites in this game. Now, when we look at what the Devils are going through right now, I believe they still have Hughes out, which the Devils without Hughes, they're coming off of their biggest win of the year. The Devils, they're coming in off of that 4-1 impressive victory against the Panthers, snapping their winning streak there. I believe they're dealing with a decent amount of injuries. Yeah, Dougie Hamilton's still out. Thomas Nosek is still out. Timo Meier, Jonas Siegenthaler, Andre Palat, and Jack Hughes. So the Devils are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. And I'm not saying that the Bruins are a healthy bunch as well, but I did play the Bruins -1 at -108 in this game because they're missing players too. But I mean, Zaka could be back in the lineup today. Portress could be back in the lineup today. Carlo could be back in the lineup today. Omar could be back in the lineup today. They're all day to day. So I do like the Bruins in this spot. If you're looking for some player props, this one kind of pops out. I want to see what his numbers are here because on the top line with Morgan Geekie and David Pastrnak is Boquist, Jesper Boquist, who has moved up to the top line, which I'm assuming you can get a decent line for him to get a point or something. Let's see, Jesper Boquist. They do not have him as a prop. That is so much fun. But I would look towards, if it's available on your book, Boquist as a nice little bargain bin thing there. He'll be on the top line with Pastrnak and Geekie.
I will say I didn't do much looking into the NHL card today. I'm sorry. It was a big NBA card, so I kind of went and looked towards that more. It would be a lean towards the Bruins in this one. You would have to take the puck line, and maybe you could try to do. I feel like I want to try to I don't want to say do same game parlays, but I feel like I want to do correlated parlays where if like if the Bruins are to win today, most likely Marchand got a point or something like that. So try to like put those two together to try to take the 170 down to close to even money or something in that nature, minus 120 area. It would be a lean towards the Bruins, maybe a lean towards the under in this one game. I could easily see this one being a more of a playoff style-esque hockey game, and could definitely be like that. But I really just want to see kind of, well, both teams are kind of way in front, but no overtime, please. But I lean towards the Bruins, maybe Bruins in reg with a Marchand point or something in that nature. So
Yeah.
But I'm not going to have many official plays on this one.
Fair.
I hate them Packers since I live in Detroit, but I can't hate the Lions no more since all my friends are Lions fans. I'm so hyped right now, but okay. Devils puck line. Good luck.
No.
Tim, you can can beat
Tim. Detroit can beat Philly, but they would rather play Tampa. I agree.
Oh, 100%. I think they could beat either, but I root for you guys always, as long as it doesn't go against my plays. I appreciate that, Mel. Get it. I don't see Green Bay winning in San Francisco or winning the Super Bowl. No way, Jose. Hey, no, a lot of people didn't think they were going to beat the Cowboys either. So everybody loved the Cowboys, and we saw what happened there. Tim, you remember the lady's face from the Dallas? Yes, dude, you sent me that. That was hilarious. Bruins and reg, sure. Bruins puck line, sure. Also sweet, but Nick needs love. We love you. No, we don't love Nick. Exactly. No. Bye, Dallas.
How about them Cowboys? Even though I bet on them yesterday.
All right, Nick. I'll let you have fun with this one real quick.
Hard pass. And here we go. The Florida Panthers are minus 395 favorites in this game. Total 6.5. Do I have any interest in the Florida Panthers at minus 400? No, but you know my rules right now at Florida Panther games. I don't bet the other side. I have this game projected Panthers minus 245. So is there value on the Ducks? A little bit, yeah. Do I want to trust the Ducks? No. This is going to be 4-1 Panthers. That's the type of game this is going to be. The Ducks have struggled scoring goals. I do have this game projected at 6.3 goals here in this one. And this is a 4.5 at plus 130 for the Panthers. It's not a terrible look. I do have them projected for 4.23 goals. So maybe there's a little bit of value on the over 4.5 team total with the Panthers if you're looking to do that. But this is one of those games where I don't even know how much we need to break it down. I'm not laying this big number with the Panthers, and I'm not looking at the Ducks. So, yeah, this line opened up at a 365. It's up to a 381. This line opened up at a 6 at minus 106. It's now a 6 at minus 108. So, a line movement towards the Panthers, slight movement towards the over. We have 68% of tickets, 98% of the cash on the Panthers, 45% of tickets, 95% cash on the under. And this one here, if anything, I would look towards the Panthers team total over 4.5. I hate 4.5s, but I see them scoring 5 goals in this game. Panthers. Even though they've been playing a little bit more towards the under. The Panthers have won 7 straight in this series. They've only scored 1 goal. They've only scored 5 goals once in that. And actually, as of late, they haven't scored 5 goals in back-to-back games. But previous to that, they did it 2 straight, and they scored 4 goals in 4 in a row previous to that. So this is a stay-out spot for me. No interest in this game at all.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm not fading the Panthers right now. I agree with you on that one. They are not a team to be fading. If you like your money, you should be fading them at least. And I do value my money, so I'm not going to be fading them. I'm also not laying a big price with the Panthers. Maybe a Panthers Sabres parlay could be interesting. No, I'm kidding. I want nothing to do with this one, especially. No Zegras for a while for the Ducks. So that's kind of just a big hurt right there that until he comes back, I really don't think I can even come close to backing the Ducks. So this one's a stay away from me too, Nick.
Yeah, plus you can get minus 101 for Panthers Bruins 2-teamer.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate that, but I'm not gonna do that. Twins, Ohio versus Michigan, 1 point spread. Game is a 2. George. Oh, hold on. Let me pull up the. I got it right here. First of all, Michigan versus Ohio State. We'll preface
that one kind of popped out as a system play, didn't it, Tim?
No, neither one of them is ranked.
But you get a 6-10 team at home, favored over Ohio State, who is what?
I mean,
actually, I don't decent record. 12-4. You have Michigan 6-10 favored over 12-4 Ohio State.
Hold on, Nick. For the record, I didn't even look at that. So I'm gonna add Michigan as a system play. I kind of like Michigan. I kind of like Nova. 5.5 versus number 11 Marquette. We'll see with that one. Let me quickly do a check through because I'll be honest, I didn't check thoroughly for system plays. I know it is what it is. How about Sela? 6-10 favored it against a 9-7 Texas A&M CC team. Yeah, not as big with the smaller schools though. Hold on. I should have done this beforehand. Yeah. How about the fact that Loyola, Maryland is a 3.5 point dog? They're 3-14 against a team that's 9-8 at home. I think I do Loyola, Maryland, and Michigan as system plays.
Okay.
I think those are going to be the two system plays. Let's do that. I'm going to add those two as well, and I can make that. I can make a bigger pack out of it now. Let's do this. I'm going to be taking Michigan. So that answers that part. George Mason versus George Washington's a complete pass, and we like Iowa. Panthers puck line, too juicy. LOL. Nick, you can get Ducks at plus 1.5 at plus 130. That's insane. Have to bet it on principle.
Have fun.
Not to change sports, but just wondering. Mavs plus 4 at home. Is Luka out? Luka's probably out. But I do like the Mavericks. Yo. I'm guessing it was a good day for Mr. Kryptonite. 4-1 Ducks. Wow, you think the Ducks win 4-1? You could probably get a really good price tag at that. You can get the Ducks puck line at plus 630. There you go. Yes, my bad, Twins. I messed up my sentence trying to figure it out. Detroit. Yeah, no. We understand, Marcos. It just took me a minute because I'm slow. I've been up for 8 hours, so I'm dragging a little bit. We're good though. Bruins smash. Yes. Yesterday was good. A puck. Yeah, that's still really good, Mel. Really disappointed in the Rams. Me too. Dude. Morning, my dudes. Cashed on the under in the Pacers game and Suns team total over first half. There you go. Nick, I'm gonna put up the 2 plays. But you can go ahead and keep rolling through.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one that I kind of had circled to try to look to bet this game. Because we had the Canucks, they're minus 210 road favorites, total 6.5 in this game. Taking a look at the line history in this spot here, where we have Vancouver opened up at a 220. Now they're down to a 203. Line opened up at a 6.5 minus 125. It's now a 6.5 minus 132. So we have a move towards the over, and we have a move towards the Jackets in this one here. Taking a look at the cash flow on this one, 53% of the tickets, 97% of the cash is on Columbus in this spot. 86% of the tickets, 92% of the cash is on the over in this game as well. Taking a look at my projections for this game, I don't really see too much value in this one because I have this game projected at a 180 for Columbus, so I thought this line was about correct. But when you look at this game a little bit deeper into this spot here, specifically for Vancouver, because They got this. They got the road trip started poorly. They lost 2-1 against St. Louis, but since then, they beat New Jersey. They beat the Rangers. They beat the Islanders. They beat the Penguins. They beat the Sabres. And their next game is back in Vancouver against Arizona. This is the last game of a very successful road trip for the Canucks. And I said during the show with Terry that I wouldn't be looking to fade the Canucks against the Sabres. I would look to fade them in this game against the Blue Jackets. And I kind of do lean Blue Jackets in this game, strictly on a situational spot, because this is the last game of a very successful road trip for the for the Canucks. And we have the only thing is we have the Blue Jackets coming in off of back-to-back beatdowns. They lost 5-0 to Winnipeg, and then they were up for a decent amount of that game against the Kraken, and the Kraken ran away with it and put up a touchdown on them. So this is a tricky matchup for me. I would have liked, but we're getting Merce Leakins back in this game. The last 4 games have been Daniil Tarasov. So maybe a draw in this game. The Columbus Blue Jackets have been no stranger to go into overtime. But I would be leaning Jackets or nothing in this game here. Columbus would be the only spot I would look at here.
Okay. I personally have nothing on this game, so I'm sorry I didn't bet any hockey yet. My hockey card will be out after the show. So I do apologize for anybody who is wanting my hockey plays for whatever reason. So
fair. I don't know why people would, but fair.
Yeah, I know. Back to the chat for you, Nick.
Yeah. Let's see. Got 3 NHL under 6.5 plays. Yeah, I noticed I've been focusing more on sides rather than totals lately because my totals have not been very good. My sides have been a little bit better. Still. Nova's up to a 6 now. Tim was at a 5 and a hook.
Yeah, I stayed off of Nova. Fair. That being said, Nova outright today.
Yep. Sharks Sabres under, Canes Kings under, VGK Preds under. Fair. 1995 first round pick, 8th overall. Terry Ryan made his comeback to professional hockey as he played for the Newfoundland Growlers in the ECHL. Had a fight allowed by a standing ovation. Ryan is 47. Wow. That reminds me of Yammer Yager still playing in the European leagues at 52 or whatever it is.
Holy crap! He can still move.
Yeah.
Does he have any teeth left?
Probably not. Minus 145 to bump a total up to 6.5 for Preds and VGK. We'll get into that game a little bit in a little bit there. Bruins and Reg. Yeah, I got Bruins -1. Montreal money line against Colorado. That's kind of interesting. Ooh, Columbus team total over. That could be an interesting look. Steelers, Bills race to 20, neither plus 310. That would bode well for my Steelers +10 bet.
I have the over in Bills, but anyway.
We'll get into the next matchup here.
Nick, real quick. I'm gonna let you break it down. I have no bets in the NHL right now, and there's Bojangles calling my name, so I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes.
All righty then.
I'll let you run. Hey, it'll make the NHL go by quicker, so we can get to the NBA.
Yay! All right. So we have the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're taking on the Seattle Kraken in this game. The line opened up at a 135 for the Penguins. It's up to a 145 now. So we've moved towards Pittsburgh in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at -116. It's down to a 6 at -108 in this game as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have 41% of the tickets and 61% of the cash is on the Penguins. So the sharp money coming in on the Penguins. Line moving towards Pittsburgh here in this spot. 53% of the tickets, 97% of the cash is on the over in this game. The line has moved towards the under, I want to say. If I remember right, the line has moved towards the under in this game. Let me re-click that so I can see. The line has moved towards the under in this game. So interesting little reverse line movement there. Very limited sample size, and I don't read too much into markets on hockey. But there we go. I have this game projected for the Penguins around a -180 in this game. So I am interested in Pittsburgh in this spot. And I know it's very difficult to back or to fade the Kraken right now. And I've been making a lot of money with the Kraken here. And the Kraken still have 2 more games on this road trip. They play the Rangers and the Oilers in this spot. And the last time the Kraken have lost a hockey game was on December the 18th in Dallas. But since then, they beat LA, they beat Anaheim, Calgary, Philadelphia, Vegas, Ottawa, Buffalo, Washington, and Columbus. I think this will be their toughest opponent during this winning streak. And once these teams start getting up to these 9, and actually one thing I believe is true here. I want to take a look if this is, because I believe one team may have done it this year, but I think no, only one team has done it this year. That's the Edmonton Oilers right now. Only one team, and they did it just 2 days ago, have won 10 games in a row, the Oilers. Every other team that's reached 9 has lost. And the Kraken are up to 9 now. I want to move on the Penguins at -1 here in this spot. At 145, obviously I can't lay the money line for there because or it's 140, I believe. No, it's 145. It's 145 and it's plus 175. So I'm going to get plus money here on the Penguins -1 line, plus 110 in this game. I know a lot of people are going to love the Kraken because of how they've been playing as of late, but I'm going to be moving on Pittsburgh here on the -1 line in this game, and look to fade the Kraken here and challenge them to win a 10th in a row, which this Penguins team I think is bet on. You guys know I think is bet on, so I'm going to take them here plus 110 for the Penguins -1 line here. Let me confirm. Let me place these bets if it'll let me, please. Being a pain in the ass. Cool. Being a pain in the ass. Outstanding. Session is expired. Cool. I will be placing those in just a second here. But we'll get back to the chat on this spot. Yeah. Fairfield money line against Canisius, North Carolina A&T +3 against Hampton. Let's get up the college basketball projections. You said Fairfield against Canisius. We have a point of value on the Golden Griffins in that game. And then the other one was Hampton and A&T. And we have no value on that one. We have that game at 3.5. So there. Wow, that's a change of pace. What's a change of pace? All right. Bojangles on Tim. Yeah, Bojangles on Tim. You do football yet? Not yet. We're doing hockey first, then football, then the NBA. Kraken to score first at plus 110. Fair. So let me write down Pens -1. I'm probably just gonna get to these bets after the show. Pens -1 will be a play for me. Kings and Canes in this next matchup here. Hurricanes -145 favorites. Total 6 in this spot. And I believe it'll be Ranta again, who actually looked competent in his last game, as the Penguins only were able to get 2 goals against Ranta in that game there. Let's take a look at the line history here between Carolina and LA. Line opened up at a 140. It's up to a 143. The line opened up at a 6 at -125. It's down to a 6 at -119. So we have a move towards the under, and we have a move towards the Hurricanes here, suggesting that maybe Ranta could be competent again. We also have 67% of the tickets and 98% of the cash on the under, 60% of the tickets, 85% of the cash on the Kings in this game. Very limited sample size, only 3,000 tickets there. My projections for this game have the Kings as a fave. I'm looking to fade Ranta any way, shape, or form I can, though. So whenever I can fade Ranta in between the pipes for the Hurricanes, I'm going to look to do that. And the tricky part for this game is, though, that the Kings have lost let's see, 8 games in a row. 4 of those in overtime. The Hurricanes are starting to pick it up a little bit. They have won 7 of their last 8 games. The only game they lost was in a shootout against the Blues. And head-to-head, the Hurricanes have won 8 straight games against the LA Kings and 9 of their last 10. So this is a tricky spot here for the Kings. Is this the Kings' last game of a road trip? No, they have the Stars in the last game of their road trip here. I'm going to look to back the Kings in this spot. I think that them losing 8 games in a row, they're not going to keep losing. Now, obviously, they very well could, and maybe I'm just trying to catch a falling knife here. But I think this is their best spot, best opportunity to break the losing streak on the road because I don't think they do it against Dallas. I would look towards the Kings here. You got a hot team taking on a cold team, though. That's kind of tricky. But Ronta, I would like to fade him here. So I'm looking the Kings as a dog here in this spot. Whether or not I pull the trigger on it, I got to figure that out. But it's Kings or nothing here for me. I'm not looking to lay $1.45 with Ronta.
I feel like the only thing I would want to look at in this game is player props on the Kane side. And that would include Aho, Svechnikov, and what's his name? Who's the one that they're trying to get into the All-Star game? Seth Jarvis. That's what it is. Because Jarvis has been going off. I probably look towards an assist prop with Jarvis, if I was to be honest, in this game. Other than that, Kings, you can go kind of like Nick, the Islanders parlay that I do, which is Horvat and Barzell. Kempe and Kopitar for the Kings have been interesting too. So maybe what I might try to do today is only player props. No sides, no totals, just player props, and see how I do. So I'll look towards doing something with Aho, Svechnikov, and Jarvis, and then I'll look to do something with Kopitar and Kempe in that one.
Not a bad look there.
Minus 145 bump total up to 6.5 for the Vegas Predators.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Oh, yeah. Oh,
wait, yeah, never mind. I see that. Never mind. Buccaneers. Oh, Buccaneers
Yeah,
under. No.
No.
And Eagles alternative. No. Tampa Bay outright today. I like the Buccaneers. Let's go to this one, Nick.
Yeah, Vegas Golden Knights minus 120 taking on the Nashville Predators. Total of 6 in this game. 2 teams I'm not particularly looking to bet on at the moment, but let's get into it here. We have Vegas opened up at a 138. They're down to a 118 on Bet Online, so a big move towards the goal or towards the Predators in this spot here. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 106. It's now a 6 at plus 101. So we have a line movement towards the under. We have a line movement towards the Preds in this game here. 68% of the tickets, 82% of the cash is on the Preds in this one. 50% of the tickets, 59% of the cash on the under in this game as well. And this is a matchup that, I mean, as I mentioned, I'm not looking to bet on either team. I think this total is right. I have this game projected for 6.11 goals. And I have this game projected for the Vegas Golden Knights at minus 125, minus 130 range. So it's a slight lean towards the Golden Knights if I'm looking to bet this game. But I'm really not. I think there's better games on the card here. And actually, not too much appeals to me on this on the betting card here for what do you call it? For NHL today. We had the Preds coming in on back-to-back wins. They dominated the Stars, and then they got lucky in their last game. They got a nice little fluky goal at the end there with 7 seconds left, where it was a shot that hit off of a broken stick and floated right past Sorokin. It's one of those you couldn't even make it up type of moments. But the thing is, I'm not looking to back Vegas right now, who has lost 7 of their last 10 games. They just lost 3-1 to the Flames in their last game. And they just look soft right now. So this is a no play either direction here for me. There's better games on this card. Better games on the card. Yeah.
If anything, I'm looking towards Forsberg props. Maybe Ryan O'Reilly assists, something like that on the Nashville side. But I feel like this is an under game. Vegas really hasn't been doing much offensively, and I feel like they've been playing pretty solid defensively themselves. They've had 3 straight games go under, and 6 out of 7 games go under. So I feel like this is an under game, and that's kind of how I would have to approach it. So I wouldn't really want to be interested in that many player props when I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals. I lean towards an under in this one, Nick.
Fair. Back to the chat.
Morning, Tomb. Morning, Eric. How are you guys? Did you guys have a good? Sometimes
I wonder if he just comes up with new names every day.
I'm really trying to figure out whether or not he's fucking with us or not. I'm really trying to figure that out. But good morning, Brad. How you doing? Bills, yes. I think Steelers got a shot if they can run the ball. I don't.
I absolutely do as well. And we'll get into that there. But
I think
knowing my playoff track history right now, they're going to get blown out.
Well, I think that there was going to be one big favorite that went down in the playoffs. That was Dallas. So I don't see the Bills going down. I'm on the Viagra. Purple Eagles. I think you should talk to your doctor about if you're going to go on Viagra. I don't think you should be really mentioning that in the chat. But hey, whatever you need to do, dude. Have fun. Anything can happen on a frozen turf. That is true. But you also got to keep in mind, these are 2 cold weather teams. I'm not really worried about them. Preds or pass. That's fair. Vegas sucks. Houston Texans got Durant again on Saturday. Good for them. Let's keep rolling, Nick. And I have a feeling that one of you guys are blocking the other one after this game, Nick.
I don't know, because I was looking at this game here and I was looking at the schedule for the Islanders, and this could be a tricky spot here. Because let's get into it here, and then I'll kind of get into what I was getting at there with that statement. Let's take a look at the line history here. The Islanders head to St. Paul. Line opened up at a 115 for the Wild. It's down to a 111. So we have a slight move towards the Islanders in this game. Line opened up at 6.5. It's down to a 6. So lines move towards the under. Lines move towards the Islanders in this game here. Let's take a look here for the cash flow. 67% of the tickets, 56% of the cash is on the Islanders. The lines move towards the Islanders. We have 77% of the tickets or 79% of the tickets now, and 27% of the cash is on the under. The lines move towards said under in this one. I really don't have too much of an interest in this game here. I was looking at the schedule here. Well, for starters, I have the Wild projected around -115, -120 in this game. I think this line's correct. And I kind of lean under in this game. And the only thing that's keeping me off the under in this spot is I think for this matchup here for the Islanders, when I was looking at their schedule going ahead here, I looked at this last game before the Preds game, and I saw this. I'm like, there's 9 games left before the All-Star break. Sorokin's not going to start all of them, even though Varlamov is on the IR. And I had the Wild game circled, and I had the Blackhawks game on the 19th circled for 2 spots that they can start Ken Appleby, their third-string goaltender. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, save Sorokin for the Jets tomorrow, and punt this game against the Wild. Or know that this is the weaker opponent between them and the Jets, and start Appleby in this game rather than starting Sorokin. That's the one thing that's keeping me off this game. Now, if you give me Ken Appleby, I might look to back the Islanders because this line would go from -115 for the Wild to -130, -135, maybe -140. Like, this line will jump up 25 cents. So if you like the Wild, you'd bet them now. You would have to bet them now if you like the Wild. If you like the Islanders, I would wait. Because I would not be surprised if we saw the backup goaltender. A couple things to keep in mind. The Islanders are still missing 2 blue liners, Ryan Pollock and Robert Bertuzzo. Varlamov is on the IR, and Casey Zizekas is day-to-day right now. And with Cizikas day-to-day, they have Pajot skating on the fourth line with Clutterbuck and Martin. And they kind of have, I've noticed they've had Barzal double shifting a little bit. They keep cutting Wallstrom's minutes down, but Barzal would be taking double shifts where he'd be centering Holmstrom and Palmieri on the third line, and then he would be the right winger with Anders Lee and Bo Horvat on the top line. That's one thing I've noticed since Cizikas' injury. And this is the beautiful thing about having 5 quality centermen on your team, because Horvat's a center. Barzal naturally is a center. He's been playing a lot of wing with Horvat, but he's a natural center. Brock Nelson's a center. Pajot's a center. Cizikas is a center. They have plenty of center depth right down the middle there. So that's one thing that we've noticed, is that the Islanders are fine with that. And one thing to keep in mind with the Wild here in this spot is they may not be as bet against as they have before. Why? Gustafsson is back. Kaprizov is back.
Kaprizov.
Zuccarello is back. The only ones they're missing now is Brodin and Spurgeon. Those are the only 2 players on the IR now for the Wild. They are getting healthy, but they're still missing 2 of their top defensemen. I don't want them missing 2 of their top defensemen. Do I want to bet against the Wild in this game? No. Look what the Wild did last game when Gustafsson returned and when Kaprizov returned. The Coyotes went into St. Paul and whooped their ass 6-0. Generally not a spot.
I thought the Wild scored.
Huh?
I thought the Wild scored in garbage time.
They took that goal back.
Oh, never mind then. Okay.
So, am I looking to fade the Wild after a 6-0 ass whooping? No, but like I said, bounce back spots are for good teams. The Wild are not a good team. And it would only be, and for me, the only way I would bet this game is if we get Appleby and I can get plus 130 with the Islanders. I think that would be the only way I'd look at this game.
The only way that I could bet this game, I got to figure out the goalie tender first for the Islanders. As you were mentioning, if it is Applebee's, I'll get the 2 for 20, and no kidding. I'll take the under. If it is Sorokin, then I want nothing to do with the game. So this one's dependent on the goaltender spot.
Yep. Back to the chat.
Yes. Sorry. Bucks +3. Yes. In current state, Steelers got the better run game. Yeah, but I'm not as worried about that. So, Islanders smash spot play of the day. Islanders money line. Does Mel just hate the Wild, or?
Well, the Wild are just bet against for Mel right now.
I gotcha. +10. I feel like I gotta be on an auto bet in the sprinkle the money line. I feel like everybody wants to be on them today. But any thoughts for the Texans and the Chiefs? We don't know who they're playing yet. So I think they're both in the second round of the playoffs. That's all I got. Yeah, Chiefs W. Well, they're not playing each other. We don't know who they're playing.
The only way the Chiefs would play the Texans is if the Steelers beat the Bills today, which I think is very possible.
No. 69 tech game. No. Joe. I think the Bills game is more like 38-10. Nick, are you going? No, we're not going to the rodeo. Steelers +16.5. No. The Wild suck. The Wild will always suck. The Wild are a trash franchise. Hold on, let me just I just want to get a picture of that real quick so I can send it to Terrence. All right, cool. Maybe +13.5. Yes, I think it's gonna be a blowout today. I don't think it's gonna be close. That was my thoughts on it. I don't think it's gonna be close. We got 2 more hockey games, and then we could jump into the NFL.
Yeah, and we'll move on here to the Colorado Avalanche at the Montreal Canadiens. Avalanche -220 favorite, total 6.5 in this game. Let's get the line history up in this spot here. As we have this line opened up at a 235, it's down to a 212. We have this line opened up at a -106 for the over 6.5. It's down to a 101. So we have a move towards the under. We have a decent move towards Montreal in this game here as well. We have 8% of the tickets and 66% of the cast on Les Habitants in this one here. And we have 31% of the tickets, 87% of the cast on the under. The lines move towards both of those there. And maybe this is a spot where I get involved with the Canadians as plus 180 home dogs in this spot here. I'm going to write them down as something to keep an eye out for because I like the way the line's moving in this game for them, and the Avalanche on the road. That's one thing I wanted to mention here because the Avalanche are a bet on team in Ball Arena.
Yeah,
where they are 18-5 at home this year. On the road, 10-7-3. They are a 500 team on the money line on the road this year.
kind of
Are they a
reminds me
team
of
I'm
their,
looking to lay 220 on the road? No. Are the Montreal Canadiens a team that in these spots I'm looking to bet on as big home dogs? Yeah. So I think I'll end up on the Canadiens in this spot here when all things are said and done later today. I'll look to back the Canadiens in the spot.
Avalanche seem like their basketball counterparts. Really, really good at home, but struggle on the road.
This is every Colorado team, Tim. The Rockies are the same way, and the Broncos are the same way.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because Mile High is always a lot more difficult to play in. So
it's the toughest place to play in. Denver, in general, I believe when you look at the last 10, 15 years, has the highest win percentage of any home field.
Yeah. Canadian smash. Sure. Might be on the over. It's getting warmer in New York. That doesn't really say much. Some more winners for my guys. I'm on Harvard and St. Joseph's. Why are you taking alternative spreads? If you like a play, you should just take it on the regular spread instead of having to pay. Abs 1 billion, Habs 3.
So Habs team total over. Got it.
That's what you got from that?
Yeah.
I got you. In all seriousness, if Prosvetov. Yeah, that guy.
Ivan Prosvetov. Oh, if it's Prosvetov, I have all the interest in the world for Montreal.
All right, Nick, let's head to the final game.
Yeah, and this is a situation I like to bet on, but the only thing is with the team that I like to bet on right now, take a look at their number here that they're getting in this game. There's no plus tag in front of the Blues. Yeah. They finally learned, and I think this tells you a little bit about this game. We have the Philadelphia Flyers traveling to St. Louis to take on the Blues. Blues are up to a 118 on Bet Online. The line opened up at a 105 for the Blues. Line opened up to 115, and it's moved down to a 108. So we have a move towards the under. We have a move towards St. Louis. 72% of the tickets and 81% of the cash is on the Blues in this game. 86% of the tickets are on the under. Looking at this spot for me in this game, I think I might want to be moving on St. Louis in here. I had this line projected about right. I have this game around minus 115 for the Blues. So is this a Flyers team I want to look to fade? Yeah. Is this a Blues team I want to lay a number on at home? Not as much. They are a good home team. Don't get me wrong, 13-7-1. So they are 13-8 on the money line at home. So this is a Blues team that if you're looking to bet on the Blues, it's in St. Louis. It's not away from St. Louis. And the Flyers are a team that have been pretty decent on the road, 13-10 on the money line on the road. They're coming in off of back-to-back wins where they went into Minnesota and into Winnipeg and won back-to-back games on a back-to-back. Let's take a look here. Is this the Flyers' last game of the road trip here through the Midwest? It is because they went Minnesota, Winnipeg, and St. Louis, and then they're back at home for the next 4 games against Dallas, Colorado, Ottawa, and Tampa Bay. So interesting little schedule there for the Flyers. I want to look to bet against the Flyers, but for me on the flip side, I want plus money back in the Blues. I like the Blues. Don't get me wrong. They're a team that I'm looking to bet on this year. They're 21-20 on the money line this year, 21-18-2 overall. And I think they're a team that can flirt with a wild card spot, the Blues. And I think this is a Flyers team that I'm going to look to bet against going forward. But with this being said, I think this line's correct, and I don't see enough value in this game. So out of all the games today, I only have 4 teams written down, and I'm looking back.
There you go. I'll have my card later. Applebee's is legit.
Yeah,
I like Applebee's. Get the 2 for $20. The spinach and artichoke dip are really good, and Oh, sorry. Now I'm hungry. Anyway, Wagner, Seahawks. Yes, Wagner.
Yes.
Let's head to the NFL, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills in this spot here. The Steelers are the Bills 10-point favorites in this game, total 38.5 now. Now, keep in mind with the line history, the line moved a decent amount because the game was moved a day. Like when this game was projected for some decent win, this was in the 34, 35 range for the total. This game reopened up yesterday after they moved the game with the Buffalo Bills as 9.5-point favorites, juiced at minus 120. It immediately went up to a 10, and it stayed put at a 10 since then. Line opened up at a 39 in this game, and it's gone from 39 to 38.5 to 38 to 37.5 to 37 to 36.5, back up to a 37.5, now back up to a 38.5. So the line's moved half a point towards the under, but it got all the way down to 36.5 at one point before some buyback on this over. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, which I don't know how many tickets it's going to have because of the game being moved. But we have 59% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on the under in this game. And we have 61% of the tickets are on the Bills, but only 47% of the cash, 39 and 53 on the Steelers. 90% of the tickets, 74% of the cash is on the Bills money line in this game here. My projected line for this game is Bills 6.5. So getting up and over a touchdown, I'm going to take the points with the Steelers in this game at plus 10. And of course, when I take the money line, when I take the spread, I take the money line as well. So I'm going to be on the Steelers money line here at plus 375 as well against Buffalo. Now, Buffalo has been a really good home team this year. They're 7-1 at home. I'm not saying they're going to lose this game, but I'm just saying if there's value on the money line or the value on the spread, there's value on the money line. And one thing we've seen with Mason Rudolph at quarterback for the Steelers is their defense has improved. Granted, they played Cincinnati and Seattle with Rudolph, and then I believe they benched Rudolph in the game against the who do you call it? No, Rudolph played against because they needed the win. Rudolph played against the Ravens. They put up 17 points in that game against a good Ravens defense. But they were resting players though. They were resting players of the Ravens in that game. But with that being said, 10 is just too many points in this game. I would lean over as well. I think that the Steelers can get points in this game. Their team totals of 14. I might be interested in that team total over 14 as well for the Steelers in this game. At the moment, though, I just have Steelers plus 10 and Steelers plus 375.
I'm on Bills in the over. And you said you like the over, Nick?
I would lean that way.
All right. I just think the total was too low. If this was Buffalo and Miami, or if this was Buffalo and Tampa Bay, or something like that, I would never be taking it over. But the fact that these are two cold weather teams, I'm not worried about their offenses struggling in snow, in the cold weather, all that stuff. It doesn't bother me. I do like the what do you call it? The over in this one. I think Buffalo puts up a bunch of points. That's why I think it goes over. So I do like. I'm on the Bills minus 10. And I'm also on the over, so those are my two spots for this one, Nick.
Fair. Back to the chat.
Yes. I'm also on the under in the Ohio State game. Good luck. Those happy tones. Bills in the over. Yes, it's getting warm out. It was brisk after this morning. All right, that's not bad. Now, me and you agree on one thing, Nick.
Yeah, and I think this was the only... And I think this is the only thing that me and you agreed on during the wild card round. So good job on your very good wild card round because mine has sucked. So let's see here. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 3-point road favorites in this game. Total of 43. And we're starting to see 2.5s pop up. I see a 2.5 on DK. I see a 2.5 at Bookmaker. Now those are minus 120, minus 122. But we're starting to see a drop here. Line opened up at a 2.5, and it went up to a 3. And it stayed put at the 3 all week. And the line has actually moved juice-wise towards the Bucs since it's moved to a 3. Line opened up at a 44.5. It's down to a 43 in this game as well. We have 53% of the tickets and 53% of the cash on the Buccaneers. A little bit of buyback where the juice has moved since it's hit a 3. 70% of tickets, 94% of cats on the under, and the line's moved to 1.5. I kind of agree with it. I think the line, I don't know if you can bet the under now at a 43 when it's moved to 1.5, but I would lean in that direction. I think this was the only game I was leaning an under in all weekend long. I have the wrong team favorite in this game. I have the Bucks as a half-point favorite in this spot. So getting the 3, getting the plus 130 like I did last night with the Bucks, I end up betting them there. And I like Tampa in this spot. I think the wrong team is favored, and I think I'm going to look to take advantage of that here in this spot. So Bucks for me, plus the points and the money line.
Yeah, Bucks outright today. This is one thing I like to look at, Nick, is how teams are looking going into the playoffs. And when it comes to playoffs, because you notice it in a bunch of sports, the hot hand normally does pretty well. Guess who's not hot right now? Yeah, Eagles, who have lost 5 out of 6 going into the playoffs. Their only win was barely beating the Giants on Christmas. And that's a bad Giants team. So that's kind of
they lost to in week 17.
Yeah, but and they weren't even sitting players in week 17.
No, it was Jalen Hurts in the big end there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Also, AJ Brown is hurt in this game as well, so we don't know if he's playing.
So that's another weapon gone. And I mean, look at what was the last thing we just saw from Tampa Bay, Nick? They only struggled against Carolina. They only scored 9 points against Carolina. That's kind of ugly themselves. So I do like Tampa Bay outright in this game.
I like it. Back to the chat, and then we'll get into
NBA.
Yeah.
Well, no chat. Let's go right into the NBA.
Yeah, and I'll be straight up. I have no interest in the NBA. I think I'm going to take a small break from the NBA because it's been that bad so far in 2024.
That's fair.
I'll look to probably resume betting the NBA during the NHL All-Star break in about a couple weeks. So take a step back from this sport because I can't get it right, and I'm not going to try to waste my money trying to do that. So I'll introduce the games for you, and I'll let you break them down. Sixers 7.5-point favorites, total 228 in this spot against the Rockets. Thoughts here?
I took the under. This has been a Philly team that, besides that game against Atlanta, that went into overtime, this has been an under team lately. They've gone under in 5 out of their last 6. Plus, I feel like it could be a little bit of a tired game because it is an early one. And then you look at the Rockets side. They have gone over in 3 out of 4, but they're against some really rough teams. And one of the games that they went over was against Boston that scored 145 on them. So definitely not something I could see reciprocated here. Early game, I like the under 228 between Philly and Houston. It would be a lean slightly towards 76ers, but I don't like to lay that many points. So that's just me.
Fair.
I feel like skipping the gym, my guys, but I want to impress this girl today. What should I do? Whatever you need to.
Remember, ladies love the dad bods.
Well, hold on. Well, Nathan, you are on Viagra, the Purple Eagles today, so. Houston under, yes, early game. Is Joel Embiid playing? Considering they're 7.5-point favorites, yeah, I think so. I could probably tell that Luke is not playing today, though.
Yeah, with the Parleys as 4.5-point favorites on the road against the Mavericks, total 236.5 in this game.
But I am on said Mavericks. These two teams just played. What was it? 2 days ago, and it was a 10-point win for the Pelicans. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the injury report just to confirm that it is indeed no Luka today. Luka is doubtful. Okay, and real quick, Embiid will be a game time decision. I like the Mavericks. I think it's a good bounce back spot. You got two teams that are pretty much equal to each other, 24-16, 23-17. So when you get two teams that are pretty close to each other, Nick, I like to, if one wins one game, I pick the other one the other game. So I do like Dallas at home as a slight dog in this one.
Fair.
Oh, these girls walked by me the other day and said panza, which is Spanish for stomach. Maybe a little bit upset. Nathan, you're beautiful the way you are. Anyways, let's keep rolling. I will say I don't have anything involved in this game, though.
Me neither. We have the Knicks as 6.5 point favorites.
Yes.
Total of 220.5 in this game.
This one's a pass. I don't know what's happened to our little money makers because the Orlando Magic have lost 3 straight games and didn't cover in any of them. So not what we're used to from our Magic. And the Knicks, I'm not going and laying 6.5 points on. Although the Knicks have looked good. They have won 6 out of their last 7 games. The only game that they lost was at Dallas. So they've at least looked good to pass a little bit, but not enough for me to want to try to go after anything in this game. We'll be brief when it comes to the games I pass on. This one's a pass.
Fair.
You like Dallas? Yep. Lean over. I can see that. Go Pack Go. Yes, go Pack Go, Cameron. How about a little bit of this game, Nick? I will say I have a pick in this one, and it was my free pick video last night, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Wizards 5-point favorites against the Pistons. Total 240.5 in this game. I didn't even cap the card today, and I already
Stop it. Get some help.
So go for it.
I like the over. These are 2 bottom 5 defenses in the NBA. Now, the offenses aren't fantastic, but when it comes to it, I think this one's going to be a higher tempo game. And, Washington has allowed 125.24 points a game. That is the most in the NBA. Detroit has allowed 122.72, which is the 4th most. The 2 teams in between are Indiana and Atlanta. So these are 2 teams that have been just letting up points galore. So I'm just going to keep betting overs, especially when these 2 teams go up against each other. So I took the over 240 in this one, Nick.
High total, but yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, but I think it's a high total for a reason. So, Knicks pass. Got it. Yep. Detroit over. Yes, Detroit over for this one. Let's keep rolling through, Nick.
Yeah, San Antonio Spurs, Atlanta Hawks. Hawks 8-point favorites, total 247 in this game. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not laying 8 points with the Hawks, but I don't trust the Spurs on the road. Although 4-15 on the road, 9-10 against the spread. So at least they're covering more. They're covering almost over double the time that they're winning on the road. 8.5 points, though, is a lot of points. It could be an interesting look. As we mentioned, as I was just talking about earlier with defenses, Atlanta, I just mentioned them. They're the 2nd worst defense in the NBA. 124.11 points a game. Spurs 121.68. I'm actually going to go ahead and add this one to my card. I'm going to grab the over in the Spurs and Hawks. We get 2 matchups today, Nick, that has 2 bottom 5 defenses going up against each other. So love to see that. Give me the over in the Spurs game.
Fair enough. I noticed that when you were talking about that, these are 2 teams that are that defense can be very optional.
Correct. And Nick, as I'm going through these games, put up your NHL on the site.
Yep.
Atlanta over, yes. Sabres first period and under 2.5 goals. I can see that. But go Sabres. Let's head to this one, Nick, which I do have a play in this game.
Yeah, the Warriors are 7.5-point road favorites against the Grizzlies here. Total 226.5.
Yeah, they're not the. I know Marcos was going to say something about his road Warriors. Give me a break. I'm not high on this Warriors team at all, and everybody knows that. This is a team that's been really rough this year. They're 2 games under 500, although they are 11-6 against the spread on the road, but they're 7-9. Dude, this is a team that covers when they're a dog, not when they're a favorite on the road. And laying 7.5, it was 8 last night, so the line has moved down. I like Memphis in this game. I think Memphis has a real shot to win this one outright. I know that my Memphis to make the playoffs ticket is a loser. It was as soon as John Morant went down the second time, but I do like Memphis in this game. plus the 7.5.
There you go.
Road Warriors. Nope. This one's ugly, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have the Cavaliers 3.5-point favorites, total 221 in this game.
Pass. It would be leaning towards the Bulls. The Bulls have looked better as of late. I'll give them that. They've won 4 out of their last 5. Their only loss in the last 5 was a blowout. Well, looked like a blowout loss. It was against Golden State, where they got outscored 48-20 in the third quarter. Other than that, Bulls looked pretty solid in that game. Unfortunately, that third quarter absolutely killed them. But this is a Bulls team that's looked better. Granted, they've played Charlotte, Houston, Golden State, San Antonio. But they have looked better as of late. Cleveland has won 4 straight, and they haven't played a game in 4 days because the last time they played, they won in Paris. So that's the reason why I'm not going to go backing after them. Is because they are back from, although they had a couple of days off, but they are back from Paris. I want to see them play a game in the United States before I back them again, or before I bet on them. So this one ends up being a stay away, Nick.
Fair.
Cleveland minus, lean, but pass. Both teams have injuries. Yeah, Cleveland's been injured all year. I almost made a play on this game, but ended up choosing not to.
Yeah, we have the Celtics -7, total 242 here against the Raptors. Maybe you can go Celtics Bruins moneyline parlay. What's your thoughts here? Boston smash.
Boston smash parlay. No thanks. I do lean Raptors. I do lean Raptors as a home dog. Boston 7-11-2 against the spread on the road. Boston their last 2 games, one of them was a 33-point loss to Milwaukee. They got their revenge, or they got their bounce back with a 32-point win against Houston. I don't know what team to expect, though, because this Boston team hasn't looked as good as of late. That being said, they're 2-2 their last 4. That's them not looking as good as of late. I'm not laying 7.5 points on the road, or 7 on the road with them. I lean towards Toronto. Stay away. I have plays in the last 2 games, not the next one, but we'll go with that. Which we'll jump into this one, which I think I almost made a play on, but I ended up kind of just staying away from it.
Yeah, Nets are -1.5 against the Heat here, total of 220.5. Go for it.
I leaned Miami, except for on the second leg of a back. They're on the second leg of a back-to-back, which kind of is the only reason that kind of kept me off. This is still a Brooklyn team that's not covering spreads. They're no longer our wagon that we rode throughout the thing. The last time that since December 27th, they've won 1 game against Oklahoma City. Other than that, they've lost to Milwaukee, Washington, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, Houston, Portland, and Cleveland and Paris. It would be a lean towards Miami, but I end up staying away from this one.
Sure.
Back to the chat. Back to on to the next game.
Yeah, 2 games left. The Jazz are 7-point favorites, total 245 in this game against the Pacers. 7-point favorites are the Jazz. That's kind of crazy, but we know Pacers just played yesterday.
Yeah, and no Halliburton still. But you know where I went, because I'm going to continuously betting it. I know it didn't hit yesterday. Pacers over. This is a Jazz team that has been very high tempo. They are 11th in scoring this year, 116.4 points a game, 23rd in defense, 118.5 points a game. But it's Indiana, who is number 2, second to last in defense, and number 1 in offense. So for me, I'm going to continue to bet it until it goes under 55%. And that's just betting Pacer overs, which are still hitting at 24 and 15 this year. Even though they've gone under in 4 out of 5, I'm still going to ride the Pacer overs over.
Fair.
Pass on Miami game. Lean Toronto, but pass. Utah over. Yes, Marcos. There you go. All right, Nick. Final game of the day.
Yeah, kind of a weird line here. We get one of the best teams in the Western Conference at a pick'em against the Lakers in this game, total 238. My initial thoughts for this game, without even capping it, says the Lakers are probably the play in this game.
They're not. I'm not betting them. It's the same deal as if the Yankees were bad and they were a pick 'em against an up-and-coming team, or if the Leafs were bad, or if like the Cowboys were mediocre. The Lakers are still the fan favorite, I guess. So they're still going to be one of the most public teams in the NBA. I like the Thunder at even money. Or I got them plus 104. I know everybody can look at it and say weird line. I'm just going to continue to ride the Thunder, who have been very nice to me. They're 26-12 against the spread. That's one of the best covering spreads teams in the NBA. I'm going to continue to ride them. I'm on the Thunder. I can't bet the fakers on this one.
Gotcha. That's the full slate.
Princeton, yes. Oklahoma City in the under. Over. I could see that. Yes. OKC. That is all the games for today. Before we head on out, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all the good stuff. We appreciate all the support. Check out all the links in the description below. They're right above Nick's head. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. All of that linked down below. If you guys are interested in becoming members of the channel, I'm going to be posting that up after the show because I have to track all the plays for today. Still, but I will say the only thing that we have for noon, and we'll give that out. The only game that we have at noon today is Michigan money line.
No.
And Niagara.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those are the two noon plays for the members because it's not going to get out early enough because it will be afternoon. But there you go. Anyways, if you're interested in that, it's right there. Recap for today. I don't really have much hockey. I'm on the Bills and the over. I'm on Tampa. And then I like the under in Philly. I like Dallas. I like the over in Washington. The over in San Antonio. Memphis. Over in Utah. And the Thunder. Nick?
Yeah. I'm keeping it light today. I've bet the Bruins -1, Pens -1, and I'm going to look at the Kings and the Habs later. No NBA for me. I'm taking a break from the NBA. And that is it at the moment. And then, of course, we got Niagara and then a couple other college basketball players. But, yeah, just those four teams I'm looking at today. Bruins, Pens, Kings, Habs for hockey.
Right on. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back. Oh, sorry. 2 more comments. Nathan, go to the gym for 30 minutes. GG, ESB, let's cash. Let's do it. And we're about 3 minutes away from Sabres game day. So let's go Sabres. Let's go Bills. Money Buffalo parlay today. And we'll end it with this.
Hey, hey.